Hello friends, welcome back to my blind playthrough of Planescape Torment. This is episode 46, and today is the day that we might actually give a skull to Lothar. Because in the last episode, I'm not sure exactly what the hint was, but I'm pretty sure we got a hint that Soego's skull could actually do. Oh yeah, I remember. It was we spoke with Mantuok, and then he started attacking us because we kind of refused to cooperate. But that clued me in on the fact that it might actually be possible. It is probably possible to give Soego's head to Lothar. Now, oof, okay, I was not expecting an attack here. I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do, if it's a smart thing to do, but we'll do it. And only then will we worry about the consequences. Now, is the portal still there? Yeah, because I was thinking, okay, Mantuok is over there, and he seems intent on attacking us. But what I could do, and what I will try to do, is actually go through here, because that's sort of another way to Lothar, right?
I'm gone.
Now, if Mantuok is here too, then he's a freaking magician, able to teleport from anywhere to anywhere else. But if he's not... Okay. Was it the same Mantuok that attacked us at the end of the last episode? Or was this a different Mantuok? Are they like brothers or something? Is it not a name? Is it like the name for a type of were-rat or whatever? Have you retrieved a particular skull the master wants? Yes. Give it to me. God damn it. Why did I speak to him? I shouldn't have spoken to him. I should have just gone past him. I'm so stupid. I guess I was really curious to see... Okay. Well, I think I'll hand it to him myself, yeah. He's not gonna be willing to give it to me. Well... I'll hand him a nameless skull, and then I'll take Soego's skull directly to Lothar. How's that for a plan? Good, bad? Something in between? Mantuok takes the skull and sniffs at it critically. Many places it catacombs, biped, no? Many places where one may be walled in for all eternity, and screams are never heard. To one of those places shall you be taken, and left to suffer. He turns to his fellow were-rats. Stab the biped until he falls. Take his corpse to the catacombs, and bury him alive. Well, fuck. We are not equipped for that. So, how about we don't fight, huh? How about we run past him? Because I'm pretty sure the passage to Lothar is right there. It's not even that far. Hang on, where is the proper spot? Here it is. Okay, you know what? Fuck the were-rats, okay? We don't need them. In fact, we really don't need them to mess things up for us. So, we will use the fact that they apparently don't know how to go through this passage themselves, and... What is this? Oh, the hole in the ground is how we got out. Okay. Okay, I was wondering where the secret passage was in this place, actually. Lothar, my friend, I got something for you, though. Maybe let's just save before that. That's gotta be the record time for how fast I saved during an episode. Lothar, you have returned, I see. I don't remember what voice I gave Lothar. You have returned, I see. And do you have a skull for me? Yeah, I have the skull of Soego, the were-rat Dustman missionary. I hope that's okay. 15,000 XP, I guess that's okay. Lothar takes the head of Soego from you and examines it carefully, checking the teeth. The teeth in particular, huh? A Dustman missionary and spy, eh? This will be satisfactory. His fingers twist through an arcane gesture. Your friend will be waiting for you above ground, where you came in. Have your answers from me. Well, that seemed actually kind of easy. now that I see how, well, uncomplicated it was. Many questions I have. Keep it quick, scarred one. I cannot tarry all day. Oh wow, okay. These answers will actually be super interesting. I wish to avail myself of your healing prowess? That's not a question, but okay. I'll Oh, I see. I thought he was gonna heal me like Mebeth does, but he offers me healing spells. Interesting. I think that's the first time I've seen healing spells in this game. Certainly the first time I've seen them all in one place like this. So heal is permanent slash instant, brings forth the ultimate power of healing. It cures all blindness, all disease, and completely restores the target. And cure wounds, I suppose, is just for HP. So critical wounds would be 27 hit points. Serious wounds would be 17 hit points. You know, this might not be a bad type of spells to have in our arsenal. At least, I don't know, at least one of them maybe. Doesn't really say the spell level though, unless these spells are somehow special in that they don't really have levels. So hang on, am I right? Is this what's happening here? Am I buying the spell or am I buying? I'm not buying the spell. I'm probably buying just like a one-time thing, because when buying spells, you usually buy the scroll, right? And then you have to read the scroll and learn the spell. But here, this is just, I don't know. This looks suspicious to me. Maybe I'll do like a small buy first, just to test how this works. Yep, that was just a one-time heal. I'm glad I didn't misread that. That would have been annoying. Ah, okay, yeah, because it's the 8 tab, of course, of course. That's what it is. But I can actually buy stuff from you. But it's all the same old junk. Oh, never mind, there we go. Cure moderate wounds, cure serious wounds, level 4 priest. Why? Hang on, it has a red outline though. Usable only by priests. Ah, I see. Okay. Critical wounds, scroll of heal. Right. Interesting. Interesting. Now, we have some things that we might want to identify. I could do it myself, though. I've got the spells. So I'll do that later. Oh, and I have Mantuok's book because I pickpocketed him. Okay. I don't need anything else from you, Lothar, except for, you know, answers. But let's maybe inspect the book, actually. I don't quite remember what happened with it. So, oh, I need to identify it. Interesting. Scroll spell. Okay. I will wait until I'm able to rest with the nameless one. I'll equip some identify spells, which I should have somewhere over here, right? Hang on, do I not? Oh, never mind. This is the wrong side. Well, which one is actually useless here? It's not that they are useless. It's just that I'm bad at planning, and well, I just don't usually plan ahead. So I'm kind of stuck casting, panic casting spells in the moment. I don't know. This blindness thing actually hasn't worked out for me all that well. So I think I'll equip and identify at least one of them, and the armor too. So let's make it to identify so I can identify everything next time I rest. Now, Lothar, my friend. You again. What do you want from old Lothar now? I have given you your skull friend and your answers. I warn you, I haven't all day to attend to you. His gaze falls on you with the force of a sledgehammer. Ooh. I just wanted to talk to you some more. No. Some more of those questions. I still haven't asked them. Why am I immortal?
Updated my journal.
Your mortality. Your soul, if you will, that which allows you to live and die, is gone from you. It was stripped from you by magical means, by the night hag Ravel Puzzlewell. Your mortality is the key to your existence. When you find it, you will find your answers. Night hag, huh? Well, it sounds unpleasant. If she's anything like the hags in Baldur's Gate 3, by the hags, I mean the hag in Baldur's Gate 3, she will be an unpleasant being to meet indeed. Ravel Puzzlewell is kind of a funny name, though. Ravel Puzzlewell is an enigma, even among the night hags. Some would call her barmy. Others say she plays a deeper game than any can see through. She is evil through and through, making the fiends you see in the area seem positively divine when compared to her. She is out of the reach of men now, thank the powers, for she was mazed by the Lady of Pain. Ah, okay, I know that feeling. How do I find her, then? Mazes are like pocket dimensions, small places between planes. To reach one, you need to find a portal and a key. I do not know where the door or the key are. Geez, okay, so it's basically just like a wild goose chase here. I can't really imagine how we will go about finding something like that without help. And Lothar, if Lothar doesn't know, then I kind of doubt that anyone else will be able to tell me where to look. I mean, someone presumably will, if the game actually wants me to find this place, but yeah. Perhaps you should seek some of your old acquaintances. You have certainly left a trail of them behind. They will find you, no doubt. Pray they mean you well. Perhaps you should visit the Civic Fest Hall. They have many answers there. I've just been there. I just spent like 3 or 4 episodes there. Okay. And I didn't really run into any old acquaintances that I know of. Well, what did Ravel do?
Updated my journal.
She was a maker of toys and puzzles, a solver of problems that didn't need solving. She decided that Sigil, the cage, was the largest puzzle box of all and set herself to undo it, to let in the armies of fiends at her disposal, no doubt, to upset the balance of the city and turn the entire burg into a charnel house. Pray to any power you hold dear with thanks, she did not succeed. Undo it, huh? She just wanted to completely destroy this place. And then she robbed me of my mortality. For some reason. He told me that it was stripped from me by magical means. Which I kind of figured that it wasn't by natural means, you know? Whatever natural even means in this universe. But he gives me no clues as to why she would have done that. So I presume I must have pissed her off for some reason. And then I also want to ask about my memory. Why have I lost my memory? It is a side effect of losing your mortality. Okay, and yeah, and now we're asking the same stuff as before. Okay, so at least it's not 2 different things. At least it's like related. So find this Ravel Puzzlewell, and I will solve this. And this actually sounds like kind of the main quest that I'm on right now, right? Because I needed to figure out how to convince Lothar to talk to me, and now I know. Although I'm not sure how to exit this place. Where's the... Oh, we're upstairs, aren't we? Where's the... Okay. Was this it? Yep. Where did he say Morte was again? Like, actually outside, huh? Okay. My friend Morte. I have rescued Morte. I've rescued Morte and got an achievement which only 17.7% of players got. Makes me feel really good about myself. Now, let's talk to Morte. First things first.
Hey, what's eating you, Chief?
Whoa. Oh, there we go. I can ask him about the Blood War. Maybe because we had the lecture Or were we actually able to ask that before? Maybe. But we can also ask him, more importantly, about the Night Hag, which is... that is going to come in useful. What do you know about the Blood War, though? It's a war. A big, bloody, messy war. It happens everywhere, though you can't always see it. You see, Chief, it's a war between two nasty races, demons and devils. Once upon a time, they didn't know about each other. The devils were evil, but it was an orderly kind of evil. The demons were also evil, but they were more relaxed about it, more impulsive, more chaotic, less organized. The devils were like politicians, the demons were like butchers. Actually, this is a really succinct explanation, and I almost feel like I've learned more than during that entire long lecture. Then one day, the two races met. They looked at each other and they didn't like how the other race treated evil. And they've fought ever since. It's a big nightmare. But at least it keeps those two races occupied so they don't run all over the plains. That's a pragmatic view. Now, what about the Night Hag Savle? Well, she's a Night Hag. And she was definitely barmy enough to make you immortal of all people. I mean, she could have chosen me. Morte rolls his eyes. Oh, how I've missed you, Morte. You and that big, beautiful, indestructible skull of yours. Still, anyone addled enough to lock blades with the Lady of Pain isn't someone we really want to find. Oh, okay, so your advice is just don't look for her. It's appreciated. I'm so glad that there are now 4 of us again.
Right.
Let's celebrate by going to the one place that we've been avoiding until now. Namely, the brothel. It was not here, was it? I gotta go to... Yep. I gotta go to Clerk's Ward.
All right.
Maybe, if I'm lucky, if I'm really lucky, I can get a 5th companion in Fall from Grace, and then my party would be pretty much indestructible. As that's what I think, anyway, but, yeah, so let's begin by talking to her, actually.
How may I help you?
Fall from Grace turns as you approach and smiles slightly. How may I help you? Had some questions? Maybe. Oh, I actually do. I came here looking for help. Well, this is very specific, okay. But what is this one? I came here looking for help. Perhaps you can help me. Help? What kind of help were you looking for? I seem to have lost my memories, and also myself. Did I ask this? I'm honestly not sure. It's been quite a long time, you know, between the Civic Fest Hall and the Civic Fest Hall and like 3 episodes at the Civic Fest Hall. You have been stricken with amnesia? Falls from Grace looks pained. How terrible. Do you have any idea how it happened? Well, not really. I mean, I woke up on a slab in the mortuary and everything before that is black. You awoke in the mortuary? Yeah, I think the dustman mistook me for being dead, or I actually was dead, or something. And all I know is that I regenerate wounds quickly. I could be immortal, but I don't even know that for sure. I mean, I would say I do know that for sure. Lothar kind of confirmed it, right? Fall from Grace seems to be appraising you with renewed interest. Those scars on your body. She reaches out a hand as if to touch you. May I? Did we do this the last time? I'm really not sure. I think I've also got amnesia. This is true roleplay, you know. I'm playing as my character right now. I'm gonna talk to the same 3 characters every episode, never remembering that I've talked to them before. This is a series from now on. Deal with it. Yes. Fall from Grace drags her finger across your chest lightly, tracing the edges of your scars and following the curves where they blend into some of your tattoos. She seems fascinated. These scars do look as if they would have taken several lifetimes to accumulate. Yeah, certainly. Some are more recent, namely from the horrible beast that I let out of the bottle 2 episodes ago. Fall from Grace steps back. Some of these wounds would have been fatal to a normal man. She taps her chin, thinking. What do you intend to do now? Good question. Actually, there are quite a few answers considering how... well, I guess it is kind of an open-ended question. I need to get my memories back and my life back. I intend to scour the plains and search inside myself until I can piece together who I am and what brought me to this state. That seems to be what we're doing, actually. I don't really know. I'm just searching for clues. I don't intend to do anything. Just mess around and explore. Let's see. Well, to be honest, I don't really know. Let's do number 2. I'm just searching for clues and I'm trying to figure out what happened to me, and then I will see what I should do, right? Fall from Grace is still thinking, her finger tapping on her chin. I must say, I've never met a man who had lost himself in the literal sense. She raises an eyebrow. Forgive me, but your condition is intriguing. Intriguing enough for you to come with us? Intriguing. Well, frightening is more like it. I don't like not knowing who I am, what I may have done, who my enemies are, and who my friends are. I have offended you with my words. Fall from Grace bows her head. I give my apology, if you will have it. Well, no harm done, I guess, but maybe I'll do apology accepted. That sounds kind of better. Fall from Grace nods. If it will help, you are welcome to tour the brothel. I mean, it can't really hurt. Several of our students are well versed in the verbal arts. Perhaps some of them will be able to rekindle your memories. I may do that indeed. Some questions, though. Have you ever heard... Wait, that updated my journal? What did she say that was so revolutionary here? I guess the fact that I should speak to some of the students to renew my memories. Okay. Have you ever heard of a night hag named Savle? I am familiar with the name. Fall from Grace pauses and thinks for a moment. Rumors cluster thickly about that name, and most tend to discount her as myth, but I suspect that she did exist and that she made quite an impression in the cage during her stay here. She looks puzzled. Why do you ask? What do you mean, did exist? I hope that she still exists, so she can give me my memories back, you know? I intend to seek her out. Grace raises an eyebrow. Truly, I find myself compelled to ask why. She's got information and might be able to help me? Is this information available from no one else? Well, I suspect that only she possesses the knowledge, yes.
Updated my journal.
Grace rests her hand lightly on your arm. Consider this. If Savle does indeed exist, then she is extremely powerful and cunning. If a fraction of the stories of her activities are true, then she is a creature that has discovered new meanings of evil. To search for her is not a quest to be undertaken lightly. New meanings of evil. That does sound quite sinister, doesn't it? Well, it's not a decision I'm making lightly. Do you know anything else about her? She was said to be one of the hags of the Grey Waste, and that she was believed to possess powers and a cunning far beyond those of her sisters. Let me just check, do I have anything on the Grey Waste here besides the name? It's one of the lower planes, yeah, kind of figured, and nothing else, I don't think. She came to Sigil long ago, and in addition to the evils she committed during her stay, rumor has it that her actions threatened the cage itself. Now she primarily exists only as fiction, a figure in children's stories. Grace pauses. I imagine the Lady of Pain dealt with her as all threats to Sigil are dealt with. Mazed her, yeah, we actually learned that from Lothar. What's your take on the Grey Waste?
Updated my journal.
A blighted plane that lies effectively between Beathor and the Abyss. It is frequently a battleground in the Blood War. Okay, and do you know what happened to her? Savle was most likely sent to a maze, one of the lady's prisons. Okay, is there anyone else who might know about her? Someone in the fest hall may know more of her. Okay, I see. They're really trying to point me toward the fest hall. I will go there after this place, because I've been holding off on exploring this for way too long. Civic Fest Hall, alright. Now, Dolora, I got something for you, right? What? Hang on, what happened with the keys? I thought I had done that. Ah, that's right, never mind. I first gotta bring him the water. Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about that. I have no idea how I will go about finding river Styx and bringing some water. What's going on here? And don't come back, you pitiful excuse for a man. And poor brothel patron here is leaving. Okay, Kimasxi Addertongue, we actually spoke to, right? No, I think we just saw her, okay. This wild-looking tiefling girl meets your gaze with an angry scowl. Her tattooed body is practically naked, covered by only a narrow leather thong, a black cloth brazier and armored shoulder pads that appear to serve more as decoration rather than actual protection. Her spiked hair, as well as the thin fur that covers her goat-like legs, is brassy white, and numerous silver rings dangle from her ears, nostrils, lips, and brow. She wears a leather collar around her throat with the inscription Kimasxi Addertongue. Greetings. Kimasxi bares her teeth at you. And just what are you looking at, you banged-up sod? My friend thought you were attractive, but whoa, was he ever horribly mistaken. Okay, I'm starting to regret bringing Morte already. God damn, he's gonna ruin all our chances, isn't he? She sneers at Morte, then looks below him where her body would normally be. Sharp tongue, for a stemless deader. I'll let them keep at it, sure. Like I'd let mine anywhere near if I had one. What, did you hear the word brothel and think you could make some jink here, you flea-bitten gutter whore? Ha! Can't believe they even let you in the door, what with all those sticks hopping off your shaggy legs. I think these two are going to fight. Maybe, just maybe, I should step in. Let them keep at it. Ticks! The only annoying insect around here is you! She suddenly turns to you. Hey, you here to talk with me or what? Or what? What else can I do with you? What did you have in mind, you sodding jawbox? Go ahead, give me a reason to say no to you. I was hoping for some stimulating conversation. Yes. I actually originally came here to discuss philosophy. Now, we actually go to a bunch of lectures at the Civic Fest Hall, so my appetite for discussions has been sated for the time being, but, you know, you can never get enough philosophy. What do you usually do for patrons? I'm a practitioner of abuse. Yeah, you would be, wouldn't you? What's that mean? I'll show you. Her hand lashes out to slap your face, but you manage to barely dodge the blow. Kimasxi pouts visibly, then scowls. Oh well. You got fast reflexes, huh? Oh, I'm sorry, what? What is this option? Can you teach Morte here to be more abusive? I would have thought something half animal would have faster reflexes. What the f... Okay. Can you teach Morte here to be more abusive? I don't know, maybe it will help us somehow. She raises her eyebrows. Now that's an unusual request. I don't know, it seems pretty foul-mouthed already. That's he seems pretty foul-mouthed. Kimasxi Addertongue, you scruffy goat-gammed harlot. You wish you had legs like mine, you pitiful wretch of a bone box. I can walk, run, dance. What do? Bob around wishing you had a pair, goats or otherwise? The two of them lay into one another, exchanging barbed, blistering insults and clashing with razor-edged tongues. Wait for it to end. I mean, we might be here for a long time, but it's our only option, so... Oh, does this count as a rest? That would be so funny. At last, the two of them stop their bickering, and eerie silence settles over them as they eye one another hatefully. Finally, the tiefling makes a grudging admission to Morte. "You're not that bad, really. Not bad at all." They've both had their fill, huh? "Better than you, perhaps?" Morte waggles his eyebrows at her. "Eh? Eh?" Kimasxi narrows her eyes at Morte. "Don't push it, Skull."
New taunts, all right.
"I won't, tiefling. I will admit I might have learned a thing or two, though. Good thinking, Chief." "New taunts, all right." Okay, got new insults, which we haven't really used much, to be honest. We really should. I should remember to do that, you know. Now that I got Morte back, I will never take him for granted again. I will try to make full use of all his powers. Sure thing, Morte. Kimasxi turns to you. "So was that all you wanted? I'm not spending any more time near you than I have to." I mean, questions. The tiefling rolls her eyes. "And what makes you think I care? Why don't you lick my backside?" Is that an option? It doesn't seem to be. Okay. It's not on the list. So, my tongue's not wide enough and I don't like hair in my mouth. "Well, you seem to like the taste of offal in your mouth, you dung-breathed cretin." Now we're doing new insults? Okay. Wow. Only because it's like kissing you, mangy stinkpot. Let's lay into her. She seems to enjoy that kind of thing. "Kiss me?" She makes a retching sound. "I'd rather kiss a bloody mass of phlegm than lay my lips on you. No thanks." "Well, don't thank me. Thank the powers someone actually wants to kiss you. Ka-ching." Kimasxi looks at a loss for something to say. Well, that's gotta be a first, right? For an instant, a smile threatens to crack the grimacing mask of her face. Then she becomes more of a basilisk than ever. "All right. What do you want from me?" Or of me? Questions answered. She looks annoyed. "Fine. Whatever. Ask." Oh, actually some relevant questions here. Okay. "Who are you?" "My name? Uninterested. I can guess yours, though. Scarbunch, get out of here before I put a fire under your arse." Well, almost. I'll assume it's Kimasxi, like it says on the collar then, but I actually have another question. What are you doing here? "Not you, that's for certain." Yep. She smirks at you. "I'm contemplating the best way to tell you to pike off next." Cool. This is going so well. "I'm trying to find Vivian's scent. Do you know where it might be?" "Try a hive gutter, or perhaps that's just a similar aroma. To be serious, though, Marissa stole it." Marissa? No, doesn't ring a bell. I haven't met her yet. Are you sure of this? "No, but I'm hoping you'll go stomping into her room and upset her enough to do something awful to you." Oh. So you just said a random name. Well, I'll keep it in mind anyway. Now, my last and most important question. Do you know anything about Ravel Puzzlewell?
Updated my journal.
What would I know of her? I look like a scholar or something to you? Go ask someone more learned. Or Yves. She'll probably have at least one story about her in that pile of tales she carries about in her bone box. Oh, and squat on a halberd while you're at it. Wow. Farewell then. I think I've heard enough from you, honestly. Forever. Yves. I don't think we've met her either. Out with you before I throw you out. I have a feeling that if I try to rope this chick, she will actually attack us. So, let's keep advancing. Counterclockwise. Actually, maybe we should go into the rooms too, just to make sure I don't miss anything, because I kind of have a tendency to do that. Yves the Tale-Chaser. Ah, okay. Tale-Chaser. Right. This fetching young woman has a faraway look in her soft sea-green eyes. Greetings? Greetings. I am Yves the Tale-Chaser. What a coincidence! I do chase tales. Yves continues, unperturbed. Have you come to trade tales? Yes, indeed. I would like that very much, yes. So... Oh, this is fun. Oh, this is really fun. So I can actually tell her all the things that I learned. I can also ask my companions to tell a tale, and then presumably she will be willing to tell us of Savle. I will tell her the story of... Let's do something not too personal. I don't know her yet. Let's do the story of Ignis. It's kind of a well-known one, so she might know it. But, you know, I'm trying to get a sense of what kind of person she is first. Yves leans forward as you tell the tale of Ignis and the art that burned within him. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale. And now I have one for you. The execution. Okay. Once a murderer roamed Sigil's streets, a black-hearted man by the name of Kimasxi. He had been blessed by his abyssal mother so that no one could strike him with an intent to harm, or they themselves would die. He reveled in his blessing, using it to start fights and murder anyone who crossed his path. Okay, that's a very specific blessing, so I'm guessing he dies by someone striking him without intending to do harm, somehow. I'm intrigued though, this is a cool premise. During one of his murderous rages, he was captured by the Harmonium with nets and brought before the governors. The trial was short, final, yet Kimasxi laughed at the proceedings, knowing that no one among them could harm him without dying horribly. At the final day of his trial, he was proclaimed guilty and sentenced to death. I'm on the edge of my seat here. Keep going. Kimasxi's sentence proclaimed by the governors was this: confinement for thrice 30 days, during which time you shall give up your life, be declared dead, and your body removed when all signs of life cease. Actually, that is really smart. Kimasxi laughed and dared any of them to try and harm him, yet the court was silent. The Mercy Killers led Kimasxi to their prison and locked him in a dark, empty cell. There was no cot, no lights, and the only door was a steel grate in the ceiling. As they lowered him into the cell, the Mercy Killer told him, "In the corner of your cell will you find a chalice. It holds poison. Your death will be swift." "Aren't you going to execute me?" Kimasxi snarled at the guard. "No one in Sigil shall lay a hand on you with intent to harm," came the Mercy Killer's reply. I can ask a question in the middle of this? Okay. No, I think that just interrupts the story, right? "Then I spit on your cowardice." Kimasxi laughed, feeling for the chalice in the darkness, then hurling it at the wall and shattering it. Its poison dripped from the walls and dried until it was no more. "Come then, you will have to try and kill me now." But there was no response from the grate in the ceiling. It was then that Kimasxi noticed the cell had no cot, no lights, and no food and water. All that remained was the shattered chalice, the poison gone, and for the first time Kimasxi knew the icy touch of death's approach. In twice 30 days the grate opened, and Kimasxi's body, now cold, was taken from the cell. It had given up its life, and the execution had been carried out. Wow. Okay, that was an interesting tale. You know, I've thought about this for a while, and I've kind of realized that it's there's a certain paradox in how glad I am to see these stories which have nothing to do with anything in this game. I like that they sort of distract me from the main plot, but it's kind of paradoxical because I also like huge games which take over 100 hours, games which really like immerse you into the storytelling, but then it's really nice to have a little break in between, like this, with something that's not really relevant. I mean, I assume this is pretty irrelevant, right? But it's really cool to see. I don't know. It's just nice to have something different. We will share all of our tales with her because I want to hear everything she has to say. So I will tell the story of me waking up in the mortuary. Yves leans forward as you tell the tale of your wakening in the Dustman's mortuary. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale. I too will tell a tale of the Dustmen, chapters of dust. Okay, this might actually be some interesting lore here. There are chapters in the Dead Book, the massive tome which the Dustmen keep that records the passing of all that lives into the eternal boundary. In this book there are chapters that are naught but dust, and it is believed that the names therein are lost souls who cannot die, but must suffer life eternally, until history itself dies and grants them release. Hang on. So, the Dead Book is the massive tome. Dal was the scribe. Are you really telling me that I can't go back to Dal and talk to him about this? Talk to him about what's going on with me? Not dying? I will have to try it again. Someday. Probably not today. I have another tale then. The Alley of Lingering Sighs. Oh yeah, that one. Yves leans forward as you tell the tale of the alley giving birth. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale. And now I have one for you. Before I begin, I must ask, do you know what a modron is? I can't say I've ever heard the word before. Modrons are creatures of total law, almost more machinery than living things. There are many different sorts of modron, but all have their place in a very rigid, carefully organized hierarchy. So dedicated are they to this system that they cannot communicate with or even consider the existence of modrons who are not their immediate superiors or inferiors. That is really interesting. I will have to write that down. I'm not sure where because I haven't really started an entry for races, but maybe I'll do it right now. I don't know. Races or creatures maybe is a better term. And I will do modrons, absolute law, something like that, right? Okay, I understand. Then I shall tell you the tale of the clock and the quadrone. Once upon a time there existed a modron. It was newly created, its logic fresh and untested, and it had come to Sigil following the commands of its modron superiors. It knew of nothing but commands and dictates, of obedience and passing along the orders of its superiors. For, you see, the modrons are only aware of the commands of their immediate superiors. They have no grasp of a higher authority. Until this one. One day it came upon a small shop, within which there was a small clock that could no longer tell time. It was cracked along the edges, the wheels of its hands broken. The modron immediately set itself to work at getting the parts to fix the broken clock. It made a new wooden housing for the clock's parts, replaced the bent springs, carefully filed and oiled the clockwork machinery, and carved new hands from the sparse metal available to it. The newly repaired clock's precise ticking reminded it of the great gears of Mechanus, and it comforted it as much as anything may comfort a modron. And what the modron never came to understand was that it truly loved this clock that it had worked on, and for reasons it could not explain, elected to remain in Sigil and be with the clock for the rest of its years. Huh. That's kind of an abrupt ending, honestly. Okay. So it seems that her stories focus on representatives of different factions, different groups, different alignments, maybe. Maybe except for the first. What was the first again? Yeah, about the murder. Okay. Well, that one actually wasn't really about a faction, so maybe not. Another tale, then. I will tell her of Requin's curse. She seems to devour my every word, yes. And now I have one for you, the Gilded Tale. That sounds like the opposite of what I just told you. Okay. Upon the plain of Eastgard is the Gilded Hall, where those sensates that seek the pleasure of gullet and loin can be found. Okay. They indulge these passions in earnest, never realizing that the doors of the hall never open, and that there is no clear path back to the Civic Fest Hall. They are the unwanted sensates, the ones that do not truly believe in the faction, but instead seek only pleasure for pleasure's sake. Are prisoners who do not realize they are such, truly prisoners? That is a profound question. And I love how brief this tale was, and yet it said so much. It said something about division within the largest faction in Sigil. And it's kind of an obvious division. Like, yeah, of course there would be people who would just join the sensates because of lust and gluttony and all those deadly sins, you know, all those vices. Of course, there would be a group of these people. And it also fleshes out the world because it tells me about the plane of Eastgard, which I'm not sure where that is. Maybe is it somewhere on my... It could honestly just be another name for something I already know, like, I don't know, Mount Celestia, maybe. Sounds kind of celestial, so that's what I'm going with. But it could be something completely different, of course. It probably is. But the question at the end, of course, are prisoners who do not realize that they are prisoners truly prisoners? I mean, in one sense they are, because should they ever choose to come back, they won't be able to. But it doesn't seem like these types of people, it sounds like they never choose to come back. Which of course raises the question of free will in this whole universe. I don't know, I feel like this is something that I might actually keep thinking about even after I've stopped recording the episode and just and I've gone on with my day. Another tale to share then, the Alley of Dangerous Angles. Yves leans forward as you tell the tale of the Alley of Dangerous Angles and how it came to be. And now I have one for you, the Lady's Suitor. The tale concerns a suitor of the Lady of Pain. Oh, okay. One of many over the years. Really? I never thought about the Lady of Pain being involved with anyone in this way. Having suitors? Okay. Huh. I mean, this could be just an urban legend, right? This particular story probably is, but has she actually had suitors? That sounds kind of... I don't know, it sounds pretty unbelievable. If she's always been the way she is now, so cold and distant and, well, really difficult to contact in any way that does not involve mazing. He was a young man who was obsessed with the mistress of Sigil. He saw her everywhere, in every corner of her city. He would hear the rustling of her robes, the scrape of her blades, and grew infatuated beyond all reason. He hoped that if he worshipped her, that he would at last be able to see her, and so worship her he did. Oh, and she did not like that, did she? He was found dead on the blood-soaked steps of his own home, grievous stab wounds covering the whole of his body, but his eyes were open wide, and upon his lips was a triumphant smile. Well, what an ending. I guess he did get what he wanted in the end. Well, kind of. I mean, he got to see her for real, at least, as she was stabbing him to death. I guess his desire was fulfilled in a certain way. But man, was that a grim end? And actually, it does kind of sound like the Lady of Pain as I know her. Which is still not too much, honestly. We've only met her briefly. Another tale then. I will ask one of my companions. Yes, Morte. I don't know if Morte should be the one starting, because he's gonna say something stupid or something lewd. Actually, we are in a brothel, so if he says something lewd, she probably won't mind too much. I think she just loves stories no matter what type of stories they are. Which is kind of a charming trait. Do you have a story to trade? Me? Why do I have to tell a story? Just tell it, man. Fine, fine. An elderly man was sitting alone on a dark path, right? He wasn't certain of which direction to go, and he'd forgotten both where he was traveling to and who he was. He'd sat down for a moment to rest his weary legs, and suddenly looked up to see an elderly woman before him. She grinned toothlessly, and with a cackle spoke. Now your third wish. What will it be? Huh? Is that the whole story? Okay, it's not. I was like, I'm gonna say go on, Mort, and then he will say like, no, that was the point. And I will be stuck here thinking, okay, what was the meaning of the story? That might still happen. Let's keep going. Third wish? The man was baffled. How can it be a third wish if I haven't had a first and second wish? You've had 2 wishes already, the hag said. But your second wish was for me to return everything to the way it was before you had made your first wish. That's why you remember nothing. Because everything is the way it was before you made any wishes. She cackled at the poor Berg. So it is that you have 1 wish left. All right, said the man. I don't believe this, but there's no harm in wishing. I wish to know who I am. Funny, said the old woman as she granted his wish and disappeared forever. That was your first wish. Okay. That was an interesting tale, sure. You did better than I thought, honestly. Yves smiles. An interesting tale, Mort. And now I've one for you and your companion. The Fiend's Game. A fiend sometimes wandered the wilderness of a certain prime world in the guise of a friendly old man. One day he came upon some hunters in the wood. What are you doing? The fiend asked. The hunters told him, and the fiend nodded. I have never been on a hunt before. The hunters invited the old man. Hang on, the old man? Oh, yeah, he was disguised as the old man. Okay, yeah. The hunters invited the old man to come along, and the group eventually came upon a glade where several deer were grazing. The hunters carried crossbows but did not fire, and the fiend asked them why. They are unarmed, the hunters chuckled, patting their crossbows. We hunt nothing that does not have the ability to defend itself. After all, where is the sport in that? The fiend nodded at this and promptly gated in 3 of his fellows. The hunters led them on a merry chase, but eventually they were caught and eaten. What? Well, that was a fun story, actually. It took me a while to kind of understand the last paragraph, but that was fun. How about Anna? Do you have a story to trade? Aye. I'm a no good at telling such things, I'm not. She frowns and waves her hands as if trying to shoo away the idea. Don't I be asking me for such nonsense now? Yves smiles at Anna. But I would very much like to hear your story. Please share your story, Anna. Come on already, fiendling. You already have 1 tale you won't part with. Okay, that was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Anna looks uncomfortable, her tail lashing slowly back and forth. Well, I know one story. She suddenly becomes angry, glaring at Yves. But you might not like it, you won't, so don't be blaming me for your choking it out of me. Well, go ahead. Anna scowls, then finally relents with an exasperated sigh. I heard a story when I was a wee lass. This burg's walking home real late near Anti-Peak, and passes an old toothless crone in a dark and otherwise empty street. Where you going? She asks him. Home to me wife and kib, he says. Near the stags, she asks him. Sure enough, he says. So she asks him a favor, to take a box she's got to Deader's Pit and give it to the woman there. Now this burg's a real sap, too nice to say no, despite the fact he's sure something's not quite right about this old crone, and agrees. Well, what's the woman's name? He asks. Where does she live? Where should I look for her if she's not by Deader's Pit? The woman hands him the box, a wooden thing wrapped in colored cloth, and tells him to just go and she'll be there. Finally, she warns him, and whatever you does, do not open the box. Actually, kind of sounds like the box that we got a while back. So he takes it home with him and hides it. So he takes it home with him and hides it in the rafters, thinking he'll bring it by Deader's Pit when it's lights out. His wife, though, seeing him hide in the box, gets right jealous, thinking it's a gift for her lover or something, and opens it up as soon as he's not looking. Well, turns out the box was full of gouged out eyes and severed male members with the hair still on them. Her scream brought the Burke running. He remembered what the crone said, got right scared and wrapped the box back up. Oof, what a find. He went out straight away to Deader's Pit, and sure enough there was another old hag waiting there for him. He hands her the box and she says to him, "This box has been opened and looked into." The poor Burke tries to deny it, but she gets this dreadful look on her face. "You've done something horrible," she tells him, then disappears. That done, he hurries back to his skip. He's feeling ill when he gets back and takes to bed. His wife bitterly regretted opening the box and all, but it was too late. The next day he died of a rotten disease, and the first things to go was his eyes and stem. Anna nods grimly, her tale complete. Wow, way to bring the mood down. Yves smiles. That was a wonderful tale, Anna. You should never hesitate to share it. Now I've one for you and your companion, The Parched Land. Once, a large village was struck by a terrible drought. A farmer journeyed to the worshipping stone and again implored it as to the cause of the drought. He asked the stone why it did nothing when the fields were parched and dying, why the animals and the people suffered while the stone did not a thing. "Have we not given enough offerings?" the farmer asked, begging almost upon his hands and knees. But the stone did not respond. It merely sat and cast its shadow. What? That's it? Oh. I see, the worshipping stone. The futility of worshipping something that is not alive, that does not talk back to you. And our last tale, I guess, Dakon. Do you have a story to trade? Dakon nods solemnly. I shall impart the tale of Akali drowning. Dakon tells the story of Akali, a foolish Githzerai of myth who had become lost in the chaos of Limbo. Normally, a single Githzerai may use their focus and mental discipline to form the chaos around them into a small habitable environment. Akali, however, asked so many useless and unfocused questions in her quest to return home that her isle of matter dissolved around her, and she drowned. We just got a summary of this one. Interesting. Anna's story was like 20 different paragraphs, and this was just like a summary, huh? Yves smiles. Fascinating, Dakon. Let me share with you and your companion another version of your tale that I have heard. Ah, that's the reason, okay. Dakon looks attentive and perhaps a little surprised. Hang on, now I want to make sure I got everything here. Useless and unfocused question. The Isle of Matter dissolved and she drowned. Okay. Dagon looks attentive and perhaps a little surprised. Yeah, color me surprised too. Go on. Yves goes on to tell a different version of Dagon's tale, in which Akali was driven from the Githzerai city of Shrak-Talor for her constant, useless prattling. One day she encountered a Sladi on his way to the spawning stone. She hastily erected a wall of chaos matter, which even the ravenous Sladi found difficult to break down. Hungrily it waited and spoke to her through the wall. She asked it questions, and as she became more absorbed in her pointless queries and the Sladi's answers, her own wall decayed and collapsed upon her, and thus she drowned in the matter of limbo. And that's it. That's all the tales that I had to share with her. And now I'm going to ask her why she's called the Tale-Chaser. Okay. Why are you called the Tale-Chaser? Once upon a time, a girl came to an oracle who was rumored to know many things and asked of it a boon. Her life was in need of direction, so she asked this oracle as to what would give her purpose. Now, the oracle was not evil, but it was vague and tended towards drink, which caused it to be obscure in many matters of judgment and focus. Its only answer to the girl's question was that within one story that she would hear in her lifetime was the truth that she sought. The girl went off and collected stories, which she chases to this day, not knowing which of the thousands holds the truth. Such is the danger of a foolish question, and the wisdom of an unspoken one. That is wonderful. That was honestly wonderful, and on that note, let's end this episode here. I will definitely keep talking to her next episode, but I'm starting to feel the fatigue a bit, so I'll end it right here while the game still has my full attention. Okay, thank you for joining me today. I've been Savle, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye.